I know these are not how YouTube videos are supposed to be. They're supposed to be like well produced and great, but like this is my last 30 minutes in this beautiful, humble abode of mine. Let me tell you, I say that and I just posted an Instagram that I was like, Portugal, I'm so excited to call you my next home. But then I just had this little interview with this little company that sounded really exciting, which I would have to stay in the US for. But he was like, outside of trade shows, you can work from wherever you want. You can go spend time in Europe for 3 months if you want. If you want to go to Australia, go nuts. And I was like, that's all I've ever wanted in a job is flexibility. It's not that like I hate work. I would love to work for myself. And I also like the part of me moving abroad, I really do want like a different like style of life. But like I don't know. Like my place is now on Airbnb. It's an investment. I'm leaving. Like I need to be in Portugal by February. Now I'm like, do I buy a ticket to Portugal? Like what if this job is like the job that I need that allows me the flexibility to live the life that I want, but also live here with like the people that I care about. I'm like, can my life just like not be this obnoxious? Again, I don't even know if I'd get the job, but like if I got the job, it would send me into a tizzy because like then what? Then what do I do? And I'd like to think that I make the best decisions for my life. I really do. Like when I went to college, I was for sure thought I was gonna go up to Tallahassee, and then last minute I was like, I gotta go to Alabama, and it was the best decision I've ever made in my life. Like, hello? I have an apartment 10 minutes from my best friend that I met in college. Like, the friendships that I made there are like the best. Like my best friend came out of it, and my friend group still people that I talk to all the time. So it's just like, how lucky am I? When I got my first job out of college, I knew, I was like, this isn't for me. Again, I still stayed in sales for 10 years, but I was like, this isn't for me. I quit that job and I moved to Chicago, and I loved it. I freaking loved it. And I at one point was like, I hate Chicago. I'm leaving after 6 months. And I was like, you know what, bitch, give it a year. Give it 2 years. You like got to give yourself some time. It was like really easy to meet friends in college, even going out of state. It was easy. I joined a sorority, which I have so many thoughts on that because like 34-year-old me would be like, absolutely don't join a sorority. But 22-year-old me is like, I loved it. Okay. I love Chicago. It was the best place that I've ever lived. Out of nowhere. I kid you fucking not. Out of nowhere, I moved to Florida. COVID happened. A year and a half into COVID, I was like, what the hell? I applied for a job in Charlotte. And they called back. They're like, that role's not open, but there's a role in Tampa. I was like, fuck it. Within a month, I sold my condo in Chicago and moved to Florida, Tampa, where I grew up. And I was like, I'm never going to go back there. Went back there 4 years. Best 4 years. Best friend group of all time. Like, if I can pick another place to buy property in the U.S., I don't like Florida. I'm not a Floridian. The politics there stress me out. But my friend group there, I yearn for them. Okay? Like, I really fucking love them. Out of nowhere, I was like, I gotta sell well, not really. I got fired from a job, and I was like, fuck it. I am gonna go abroad for 3 months. Packed up the dog, spent an ass ton of money, okay? Because I traveled all over instead of, like, picking one place to stay for 3 months. I was like, well, if I'm over there, I might as well see as much as I can, which is fair. Spent a shit ton of money, took the dog with, bebopped around Europe for 3 months, came back, got an entry-level job, fell in love with the entry-level job because it was so mundane. I had no stress. My sleeping was back on track. My life felt good. I was like, yeah, I'm not making shit, but like I can sustain. I'm very privileged and I'm able to sustain this life with this minimal salary. I work like 7 to noon. Sometimes I regret doing it. Sometimes I'm like, bitch, you should have just sold that house, rented a place in Tampa, kept that shitty job, and just like sat pretty. But nope, I didn't. I said, I'm going to fucking Portugal. I'm going to get a visa. Left Tampa December of 2024, being like, I'm going to move to Portugal February 2025. They told me I'd get the visa lickety split. Fuck no, I couldn't even get an appointment till July. So I sat with my parents and I lived with my parents. And I was like, well, screw it. Let me get a job. Got another job in sales, hated it. And I told my parents, I said, you're going to be seeing a lot more of me because I fucking hate this. I am now miserable again. My anxiety, my depression, it is kicking back into high gear. And for what? Like, for what? I know I want to go to Portugal. So, like, what am I doing this for? Still not getting this fucking visa, right? I got denied from my visa in August. Denied from it. So I was like, all right. So I reapplied. I was like, all right, well, I have no faith in this process. And I said, at what point do I start living my life the way that I want to live it? I can't live with my parents forever. I'm 34. I spent 10 years living alone. I have enjoyed every moment of it. Like, I don't regret that time of it was the most special time. I'm so happy that my visa didn't come when it was supposed to come. I am so happy for the 10 months that I had at home with my parents and with my sister and with my nephews and with my brother-in-law and with, like, my close family. It was the best time. The best time. Like, I'm just so lucky. I'm so lucky. Out of nowhere, one day, I'm at a college football game, Alabama versus Florida State, where I went to college and where I thought I was going to go to college with my sister and my two besties. I'm having the best time. My realtor, mind you, I had a realtor in Chicago, Philly, Barcelona, and Tampa. My Philly realtor was like, there's already an offer, but this place I think is perfect for you. I was like, it is over budget by a lot. Not like by a lot. And I was like, I don't know. I was out of town. My parents were out of town. And I'm like, I'm grown. I'm fucking grown. I don't need to tell them what I'm doing with the money. But I value their opinion. So I called them. I said, here's where I'm at. There's this Airbnb or property in Philly being sold as an Airbnb. They already have the license as an Airbnb. And it is fully furnished. It's fully furnished, but there's already an offer. So, like, if I want to do this, I have to do this. You know? My parents were like, you don't want to go look at it? I was like, I can't. There's no time. I looked for flights from Tally to Philly. There was no flights. Like, if I want to make this decision, like, I got to make it. I was like, it's 10-minute walk from my best friend. I know that, like, I want to be in a city if, like, the Portugal thing doesn't work out. And, like, this gives me flexibility, you know, to, like, live here, spend time with you guys, travel if I want, and, like, make money while I'm doing all those travels. So out of fucking nowhere, just bought this place. The day before I moved up here, I got an email that was like, your visa has been approved. And I was like, of course. Of course. Why wouldn't it? And then in that moment, I was like, do I even send in my passport? Like, maybe this is just where I'm supposed to be. And I was like, I'm going to regret it for all time if I don't send in that passport and at least get the visa. So I get the visa and I'm like, you know what? I have to go. Like, I've been wanting to do this for 2 years since I got let go from my job and spent 3 months in Europe. I was smitten with Europe, okay? And up until right now, after I had that interview, which again, I don't even know if I'll get that job, but I'm thinking, like, if I were to get that job, would I pivot? And I am at the point where I'm like, Kristen, just trust whatever decisions you'll make. Like, you need to trust yourself. Like, it's okay that you're telling people that you're going to Portugal, that Portugal is your next home, because I want it to be. But if I get a job that allows me the flexibility to, like, spend some time in Philly, some time in Florida, 3 months in Europe, and, like, who am I to deny that? I don't know. Anyway, I have got to get myself ready. We are going to go on a flight. We're going to go see JoJo and Pop-Pops. Lackluster. And I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss this. I decided to keep it on Airbnb. I really thought about the long-term renter, you know what, pros and cons and everything. But again, I bought this bitch because it was an Airbnb. I could have long-term rented whatever other property. I bought for much cheaper. And I overspent because this, not only is she Gorgina, okay, she was an Airbnb. She was fully furnished. And so for me to not, like, have faith that the Airbnb thing will work out, it's like, at what point it's like, I gotta trust the universe. So it's like, the universe better do its thing, hook me up with a good Airbnb investment. If I go to Portugal, I'll be good. If I stay because I have this, like, dream job that allows me flexibility, I don't know. I don't know. I'm so young, okay? Like, I have time. To figure it out. I'm a mess. I need to get back on my skincare game. And now I'm going to go spend the next 6 weeks with my parents and my sister, my nephews again. And I'm just going to, like, enjoy the season of life I'm in. Okay? The only thing is that, like, I'm in desperate need of a paycheck coming in. Anyway, I probably won't upload for, I don't know how long, because there's no privacy when you live with your parents. There really is none. So, obviously, like, this isn't good content. I'm holding it up. There's no tripod. There's no lighting. I don't know where the hell to look, but, like, nonetheless, maybe I'll upload content when I'm, like, on my walk around the neighborhood. I don't know. I don't really know. If not, you'll see me in Portugal. Or if I'm not in Portugal, you'll see me when I have... Who the fuck knows? Oh, who knows? But anyway, I'm out for what I know the next, like, 2 weeks.